Ahoy! Are we live? Latency, 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 latency. Gang, I think we're good. I think we're plugged in here. Let me just pop off my shoes, get a little comfortable here for day 8. Let me know when you guys are feeling my frequencies when you're seeing the broadcast, if you will. How are we doing out there, guys? How are we doing on this beautiful day? If I can call it that. If I'm allowed to call it that. Moon Boot Murphy said, have a good stream, Buck. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Locked in. We're back. We are back. Plugged in, tuned in, and ready to rock for day 8 of this. Epic Venture says, you done doing videos, Bubba? Quite the contrary. I have over 35 unreleased episodes that I've gathered over the past year and a half that that are great. You know, we got stuff from Japan, we got stuff from Hawaii, we got stuff from Amsterdam, we got stuff from all around. We have more Thailand stuff. We have a bunch of stuff. Someone said, or Zima Amix said, what's up? Or they said, you got my DM about AA/NA in Westminster. I did not, man. I'm sorry. I'm not that good in the DMs. I'll be honest. I try my best, but I'm not that good in the DMs. And the reason for that is there's a lot of people that want to rip me down, man. And the DMs is a hell zone. It is a war-stricken hell zone in my DMs. But how are you guys doing today? Is everyone feeling good? You see the title. I wanted to talk about distractions, man. I wanted to talk about focus and distractions because there's a lot of shit going on right now. A lot of shit going on that gives you a lot of reasons to be fired up, right? There's a lot of reasons to be fired up right now. And I think it's good to educate ourselves. It's good to learn about stuff. But I also think it's important to think about and understand what we can control and what we can't control and what's in our focus. Or control. I said focus. Goddamn. What is in our control? Right? That's what I've been thinking about. Shout out to Scott Sullivan, MMA in the chat. We're going to have Scott on as our first caller. Going to give us a little pep talk and some positivity here on this 8th day. But, a little update on me for those who are interested. Still sticking to the regimen. 8 days in. We're feeling good. Hit some squats today. My weight is rising physically. My weight in the gym is rising. I think my mood is getting better. My sleep is cooked, though. My sleep is terrible, but I'm sticking to the schedule. I still get in bed at a certain time, and I get out of bed at a certain time. And that's important, and that's a great example of what I'm talking about. If you're having a hard time sleeping, you might not be in control of your sleep, right? You might not be in control of when you actually get to bed, but you are in control of when you get in the bed and when you get out of the bed. So I feel like giving us those parameters to work is awesome. And with everything going on, if you guys have been on the internet, you see a lot of stuff going on, and I'm not here to spew any of my views or anything, but I'm just here to tell you, if this stuff's ruining your day and you guys are having a hard time just existing without getting pissed off one way or the other, I think it's best to focus on what you can control in the situation, right? What can we control as far as what's going on overseas, man? Like I said, I don't want you to be ignorant. I don't think you should not educate yourself. But if you're letting it impact your day and there's nothing you can do, I think that's unproductive. So for me, what I'm thinking about is I'm thinking about going overseas to Israel and Palestine and Lebanon next summer. I'm thinking about planning a trip to go overseas next summer and to document this stuff, man, because I want to hit some real non-biased boots on the ground journalists, because I don't trust a lot of the stuff I see, man. I'm not trusting a lot of the stuff that I see, and I want to do something about it. And my way of doing something about it is doing journalism, doing interviews, and educating myself. And I see someone says live stream. I will not. I don't know about the IRL live stream stuff. There's a lot of, especially in the past year, man. There's a lot of freaks that are attacking me, man. And I don't know if I want to let them know where I'm at in public and get into a self-defense situation. But I'll think about it. But more than anything, I want to just have real, genuine conversations with people over there and get to the bottom of it, instead of getting all pissed off about what's going on. I'm trying to find an actionable plan. And for you, if you there's nothing you can do besides educate yourself, maybe focus on educating yourself or focus on ignoring it. That's what I think, man. That's what I think we got to do. And there's another thing that I was reading about. I think it's a Stoic philosophy. It says, "You suffer or you suffer," and what they mean by that is, if we're gonna feel like shit either way, if we are gonna feel like shit either way, we might as well take the better of those two alternatives, right? If you're gonna be a lazy, unathletic, miserable piece of shit, wouldn't you rather be an athletic, productive piece of shit? Like I'm saying, if you're going to be depressed or you're not going to feel good either way, like which one will be better? I haven't been feeling good these 8 days, and if I were to sit around and think too much about how I feel, I could probably convince myself that this regimen is not the right thing or that I'm taking the wrong steps. But I know that that I am on the right path, and I'd rather be sober and healthy and feeling sad than high and unathletic and all those things. So yeah, that's what I was thinking about. That really resonated with me last night and today. Is either way we're gonna suffer. So I mean, which way would you rather have it? Do you feel good right now, waking up in the morning and not having a purpose, or getting high and running from your problems? Because you probably don't. So what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose making a change? And I'm pretty much talking to myself when I do these little monologues, but yeah. And there was another thing. I was looking at some Tom Platt's gym motivation stuff, and he says that what did he say? He said he had a really good quote. His girlfriend when he was young cheated on him with his workout partner, and he said that he used that anger and that pain to fuel him. And the quote that I wrote down from him is, "You can't stop a man who turns his pain into power and his anger into strength." And I like that, man. I like that. Focus on what is in your control. And I know some people liked when I gave a Sam Hyde quotable a few streams ago. That's something I remember Sam telling me. I remember Sam telling me that if something is really bothering you and you can't narrow it down to an actionable thing that you can solve, then it might not be good to think about. And you might say, well, what if I'm dealing with grief or something? There's always different ways we can find actions and actionable plans. Not everything is a physically actionable plan. Sometimes it's in the mind. And for me, one thing I've been doing that's mentally actionable is working on my self-talk, doing positive affirmations, and doing a gratitude log, a little gratitude journal. So that's pretty much where I'm at. How are you guys feeling in chat? How are you guys feeling? I see Wavy Bone gave us $7 and said, "Don't worry about the DMs, King. You work on that at your own time. How many chin-ups and or can you do in a row?" I haven't been doing chin-ups. I've been doing lat pull-downs, rows on my back day, lat pull-downs and rows. I've not done chin-ups, but if I were to guess, I could probably do 10 like that, something like that. But I know where I was at when I was a wrestler, I could do upwards of 20 or 25 good ones. But right now, I don't know. I haven't really been holding myself to that high of a standard as far as like how many of these can I do, how many of that can I do. I've just been not even really focused on the numbers and just working my hardest to get that sweat in, working my hardest to make that muscle burn. So I haven't really been worrying about the numbers. Holy shit. TNTW Steven with the $20 said, "Just wanted to say thanks. I really appreciate what you do. Stay strong. You got this. The first 2 weeks are the hardest." Man, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I hope you guys don't feel any pressure to donate or anything. That's not what this is about. But I really do appreciate, you guys just thinking I have enough value to give me your hard-earned money. I really do appreciate that. I appreciate the Patreon gang, the cold-ass riders out there. And, I feel like the cold-ass riders are strong, man. I feel like we're doing good. Mickey Block said, "Just keep grinding, gang." It's really cool to see some of you guys that have been here with me since the beginning. I feel like I was talking to Mickey Block when I had like 3,000 subscribers. So it is really cool to see, just see how far we've came, man. And I feel like I've came a long way in these 8 days. So, yeah. Mango Pod said, "In all events, grasp your sword with the intent of cutting the man down." Yeah, there you go. Wavy Bones had meant to say push-ups. How many push-ups can I do? I could probably do a clean 40 push-ups. Something like that. A clean 40. Um, Goblin38 with the $5 said, "Glad to see you're taking steps to feel better, Brandon." Yeah, man. Thank you for thinking so. And I'm glad as well because, like we were saying last stream, man, I feel like I really have ticked that box as far as what I considered YouTube success and what I wanted out of YouTube. And I thought it would make me feel a certain way, and it didn't. And I think the reason it didn't, more than anything, is because I wasn't taking care of myself and focusing on my health and my priorities and just the basic necessities you need to feel good. And really, in these past 8 days, I can feel myself getting happier and getting, just more excited about where the channel's at. We hit 450,000 subscribers, right? This channel's closing on 69,000 subscribers. I think that's a good number. 69K, even if we stagnated there, that's a good number. So yeah, I'm happy with it, man, and I'm excited to get into some calls today and talk to you guys. But our first guest that I wanted to have on is someone named Scott Sullivan. If you guys know him, and I was hoping he could give us a little bit of motivation and a little bit of just fuel for our fire. I see VHS Haven in chat. If you guys don't know, VHS Haven, like a while ago, he made these VHSs custom for me. The Cold Ass Riding Volume 1. It's got Too High at a Furry Convention, Winnie the Pooh Deck Collector, I Met a Psychopath in Times Square, Patreon cuts. I don't really get any money off it. He offered me like a deal, but I think what he did was so cool that I just wanted to let him keep the money. But yeah, he made these VHSs. I think it's badass, man. He sent me a few of them. I gave one to my little cousin Cole. He was all excited about that. I think I gave one to my brother, and yeah, I really appreciate you, VHS Haven, bro. I really appreciate that. But yeah, without further ado, let's take our first call. Let's hear from Scott Sullivan, man. I want to hear from him. Now, where is he? Where is he? Scott, where are you, man? Can I call you on this? Sometimes when I use Discord, I wonder if something's wrong with me. Ready to start a call. Is it ringing? Are my headphones on? Oh man, we might have some technical difficulties here because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. He's in waiting room 1? Scott, can you hear me?
You there?
What in the hell, man? Give me 1 second here. I'm sorry, chat. Bear with me while this 28-year-old fool figures out what he's doing, because I'm not hearing my headphones. Are they on or are they off?
I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
I don't think I had them on. Scott, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
There we go. Yeah, sorry about that, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have the one and only Scott Sullivan. How you doing today, bro?
Doing all right, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you're someone that I met in Rhode Island when I was training for my boxing fight when Sam was training me, and yeah, I feel like you have a lot of positivity and wisdom, and I feel like you've dealt with some shit in your life. So I was hoping you could call in and yeah, just help inspire the chat, man. Help the chat deal with some of their issues, man. Do you feel like?
Oh yeah. Oh no, sorry. What were you gonna say?
No, I'm good. I was just saying, yeah. Do you want to tell us a little bit about like your journey with mental health and some things that have helped you?
Yeah. So growing up, I mean, don't let me try and convince anybody here that I had the worst childhood ever. I definitely didn't. But I feel like sometimes we look at life and we think like, oh well, yeah. I mean, I didn't get starved by my parents, so that means like I actually had a good life and I can't be upset about it. I don't think that's the case. But like, my childhood was a little bit rough growing up. There were some things that happened and certain situations that I ended up in that still even today has a bit of an effect on me. It ended up coming to a head in high school. My sophomore year, I ended up attempting suicide. I don't know if I ever told you that. I don't think I've ever told anybody on my channel that. Yeah, I ended up spending some time in some psychiatric facilities.
Psych
I think
Morgan.
like, yeah, dude. Like I was there like 4 or 5 times, and I'll be honest with you, not all those times I necessarily needed to go. It was more that there were things surrounding me where, like, when a police officer mistakes something that you say because you're an idiot teenager who was being hyperbolic, it's kind of hard to say nah, I'm not going. you know
Yeah.
um and after that, I graduated high school. I ended up getting kicked out of my parents' house, because of all the fighting and stuff like that.
How old were you when you
And
got
I
kicked out
ended
of your
up,
parents?
I was 19.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
Actually,
a
was I 19?
that's a tough spot, man.
Yeah, yeah, no, I was 19.
That's hard, bro. I didn't have shit when I was 19. If I got kicked out, I would have been in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. Luckily, I was able to go and stay with some other family, but it was a really tough couple of months.
Hmm.
I ended up getting a job as a chimney sweep, which that's quite the story. I'll tell that at some point somewhere. And I ended up moving into a rooming house where there was like 30 like alcoholics and druggies. Like there were multiple times I walked out of my room and the SWAT team was there for like one reason or another. Um, and I stayed there for like I want to say like 5 years, just about. Then there was a fire, the place burned down, and I ended up moving back in with my parents. And in that time, there was a lot of growth that had to take place, and I think overall, really, what helped me was just an unwillingness to give up. That you always hear that, like, oh, don't give up, keep on going, man, keep on going. I know it can sound like played out and stuff like that, but that unwillingness to give up honestly kind of came from a spitefulness that I had. It was kind of like, oh, well, these people think I'm gonna fail, so I'm not gonna let them. I'm not gonna fail, because through these people. And even then, like, spitefulness kind of became a way of life for me, because, like, as spiteful as I was towards those people who, like, I felt did me wrong, whoever they happen to be, I was also even spiteful about the spitefulness, where it was like, okay, this person said I can't do this. Through them, I'm gonna prove them wrong. And if I would fail, I'd literally double back and I'd be like, yeah, well, what do I care what that person thinks anyway? They're an idiot. I
Yeah, fuck
literally
you
don't
anyway,
care.
dude.
Yeah, that's literally it. Um, it's I'm not some kind of like professional or anything like that. Even though when it comes to psychiatric professionals, I don't have a lot of faith in them. But like I do have to say I'm not a professional. But like one thing that I've seen that's worked for me and a couple other people that I've seen is just like you got to kind of find something, even if it's like a trick, even if you have to trick yourself into like not giving up, or like you have to trick yourself into getting up and doing whatever it is you got to do every day. You gotta find it and you gotta do it. You know?
Yeah, you have to take action, man. I definitely feel like that's a really good thing to tell people. And yeah, it sounds like you use some of your anger and your negative emotions to fuel you into doing something positive.
Oh yeah, 100%. I can literally like it almost would become meditative to me in a way, where like I'd sit there and I'd go through some issues with like an ex of mine, or maybe I asked out a girl in high school and she was like, no, ginger loser, her, like whatever, and I'd be like, grr, you know what, I'm gonna show her. And yeah, so then I would end up going to the gun store, and no, I'm kidding about that one.
Yeah.
um no, but like I would literally feel the negative emotions and it would suck. Don't get me wrong, but like I'd start thinking like, oh yeah, well I'm gonna show her that she actually should have gone out with me, and I'm
Hmm.
gonna do great things for myself. And like, no lie, like it's worked out pretty well. I
Yeah.
know me from Sam, and working in the parking lot and stuff like that. And that's probably the coolest thing that I've been able to do, and I'm like so thankful for Sam and for you as well, because you didn't have to work with me. You could have been like, this kid's fucking weird, Sam. Like, you got anybody else? You could have done that. Thank you for not doing that. But even then, like, there's been a bunch of other stuff that I've been able to do with my life that has been like, really cool. I think when it comes down to it, it's just like, again, something else that's kind of played out. Like, but like, life is kind of what you make it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're gonna make it all about how you're like upset about something that happened, you know, either A, you're not living the right way, or B, at the very least, you could fuel something better for it.
Yeah. Yeah, we could spend all of our time and transform our entire lives into us just being pissed off about something. But if you don't actually find an avenue or an action that you can take to make things better, I mean, you're going to be angry forever, man. You're going to be miserable forever if you don't take action. And yeah, like the Stoic thing says, you become what you think the most about. And I think that's true. Everything becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, overall, I think I'll try to not get too religious here, but I do think that we are all blessed in certain ways, right? And some people, they choose to follow up on those things, and then other people, they choose not to follow up on those things. And there's definitely bad luck. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying everybody who's ever had a bad time is like, oh, they deserved it, right? But like, a lot of people that you talk to who they're down bad, you if you start like asking them about things, they start telling you like, oh yeah, so I started doing pills, and I decided I'd rob a bank, and like it's just like bad decisions because of something bad that happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, imagine if instead of that you just decided you'd go the other direction. Like, imagine where you'd be. And not. I see someone saying Yap City. I know I tend to talk a lot. My bad
No,
for
you
that.
you
But
can't you can't you can't pay attention to chat, Scott. There's gonna be a
yeah,
thousand different people that want you to feel like an idiot or feel like shit. Who cares?
yeah. I guess that's true. But um, shoot, man, what was I gonna say?
Ah,
I
jeez,
was saying
dude.
that geez, dude, I forgot, bro.
Yeah.
Um, I guess at the end of the day, oh yeah. Like I was saying, we're all blessed, right? And like, if you follow up on those blessings, good things will happen. But like, the issue that a lot of people have is like, life is a messy thing, and you can't expect to go through it without like scars and ending up with a bum knee and like a bad shoulder and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that if you focus on the fact that you have a bum knee, a bad shoulder, and your pet turtle passed away, and you start making decisions based off of that anger that are not going to be like generative, then you're going to end up in a spot like that.
Yeah, and I feel like when we are at our lowest points, when we are as depressed or as anxious as we've ever been, we usually make our worst decisions. Don't you think?
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's real easy to do that, because like, the human ego wants to be correct at all times. And when we're sad, our ego thinks, I'm sad, so like, I want to be sad, because then I am validated. Therefore, I'm going to lay in bed all day and not do things that are going to make me not as sad as I was.
100%. And dude, I've noticed because I was doing some really bad sleep scheduling. I've noticed that even with the horrible sleep I've got this past week, some nights as little as like 2 hours of sleep where it's terrible and I'm tossing and turning. Just me going to the gym has given me more energy throughout the day, even with all the lack of sleep. So it's like I think
And that is,
positive things snowball just like the negative ones.
oh yeah, yeah, like, you gotta keep stacking the good behaviors, and when there is a negative thing that happens to you, you gotta continue to choose the good behaviors. Like I could totally understand if you were like, dude, I got 2 hours of sleep. There's no way I'm going to the gym, you know?
Mhm.
Like I wouldn't even say that's a bad reason to skip the gym, but you're still choosing to go, and because of that, like you're getting a reward from it, you know? And it actually reminds me of something I heard from Charles Carroll
My guy, bro.
at one point. Yeah, yeah. This is what really turned me on to Charles as like someone more than just a funny guy. He said that you don't get inspiration and then do the thing that you're gonna do. You do the thing that you're gonna do, and then the inspiration hits you either as you're doing it or after. And that's something that he said that completely like it changed the game for me and the way that I think of this stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, if you sit around and wait for something magic to happen, if you wait for your time to take action, there's a chance it will never come.
Oh
So
yeah, 100%.
yeah, so yeah, I think that's a great point by Charles, man. That's a fantastic point. We have got to once you start getting involved in stuff and you start doing stuff, then the inspiration and the positivity and the motivation will come with that hard work and that routine. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
so have you found some things that have helped you, some concrete things that have helped you get past those feelings of yeah, just wanting to hurt yourself or just do bad to yourself?
Um, yeah, I mean, really, it's I'm a very introspective person. Like I'll sit there in a corner all day. I feel like you and I are on the same wavelength, so we didn't really have this problem with each other. But like, I'm the kind of person like I'll be at the party and I'll be that dude in the corner. Like they don't know, you know. Um,
Me too.
and that's not some like quirky, relatable thing. That it like it kind of sucks sometimes, you know. Um, but like really just me getting into my own thoughts and being like, okay, why do I feel that? Like, what is it that's making me feel this way? Like, really kind of deconstructing it. If you have that kind of brain, if you have that kind of mindset or personality, I think it can help. You know. Now the challenge with that is you can't go in the wrong direction because then you start thinking all about like, oh well, I mean, I want to hurt myself because my ex left me and oh she's never coming back and oh like you have to pull yourself out of thinking that way and you have to be like yo like okay I want to hurt myself why I'm sad because of my ex okay I guess I know why I'm sad but like my ex was kind of a bitch anyway
Yeah.
so what's the point you know why don't I do something more productive now that I'm single you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just asking yourself like, why do I need that ex? And if she didn't see value in me, why should I be so concerned with her? And is it productive for me to get either getting her back or getting a new girlfriend if I sit around here and just feel bad for myself and wallow and just get weaker and more miserable? And yeah, the shitty part is, man, as far as like the snowball effect is, a lot of people don't want to be around miserable people. And that's like a cold truth, man. That's a truth that sucks. And not to say that your friends aren't going to be there for you and that you're a burden, because a lot of people, like I said, would rather have you here complaining than gone. But yeah, I think your average person doesn't want to be around miserable people. And like especially when you go through a breakup, man, being miserable is one of the worst things you can do to overcome that. And not that you do it, but do you know what I mean? Like so many people tell themselves after a breakup, like I'll never find another girl, or all these things that are just so unproductive and aren't true.
Oh yeah, you know, and I think part of that comes down to the way that the media is, you know, like for decades now, we've been assaulted with media where like you have the emo kid who, a girl is lusting after him because oh he's totally misunderstood and things like that, and he's brooding and he's like moody and shit like that,
Kurt
and
Cobain.
that's not how it goes. Yeah, 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 exactly. Dudes like that. And it's like that's not how it is in real life. So I feel like people have something bad happen to them and whether they realize it or not, they're kind of like, "Oh, I have a personality now." And then they start like wearing different clothes or, they start acting different. They start identifying with a different group of people or something like that. And really like it turns them into the kind of person that people don't want to be around other than maybe like um other people who are of that, without trying to sound too negative here, I want to try and make sure it all sounds positive, stays positive. But people of that same ilk, which if you're that down bad, you're not going to want to be around other people who are that down bad because their problems are going to become your problems now and vice versa. And there's going to be kind of a crabs in the bucket situation. And
Yeah.
that's something I kind of realized with my time in the hospital because I went in the hospital. I was a hormonal 14-year-old boy. Um, and like I'm sitting here and like there's girls that are in they're in the ward with me, and I'm like, oh man, this girl, we both have problems. We can fix each other, bro. And I'd try and get involved with these girls, and it would just make it worse on both our ends.
Yeah.
Um, really, you gotta know of the pitfalls, and you gotta know what to avoid.
Hmm. And dude, can you imagine if you would have stomped your lights out when you were a young teenager? How much beauty and how much life you would have missed. Probably like the best parts of your life thus far, you probably would have missed if you would have called it quits. And I'm sure when you were in there at that moment, it seemed like there was no hope. But looking back, it's like, damn, bro, if I would have ended it then, I would have never had all this cool shit.
Oh yeah, like the best points of my life were ironically, when I got kicked out of my house, not obviously not like the day I got kicked out of my house, I'm like, all right, these are the good days. But like, being out on my own, I was living with alcoholics and like druggies and stuff like that. But I was happy as hell.
Hmm.
Um, and it's crazy to think about that. Like, if I did end up doing that at that point, I would have never known what freedom really was. I would have never known what I was even sad that I didn't have, you know, because at that point I had never had a taste of like freedom or, self determination or anything like that. Um, so I think it goes without saying, I'm really, happy that I didn't end up doing anything like that at that point.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and as a closing thing, man, I think something that we could give people that might be productive or something to think about is the value of martial arts. And I know for me, I was making horrible decisions when I was 14. I'd been arrested 4 times. I was doing drugs, man. I had done heroin. I had done just everything bad. I had robbed people. I was just being a complete piece of shit, and I was miserable. And wrestling is something that gave me guidance and gave me a direction and gave me a community and helped me find the discipline to correct the behaviors that I knew were wrong. Because I knew I was messing up back then really bad. My parents got divorced, and just a bunch of tragedy happened in my life. And instead of making good decisions, I made bad decisions, and it made me feel like shit. And yeah, wrestling was just great for me. So, do you have a similar experience with martial arts, just helping bring value to your life?
Oh yeah. It was also wrestling. Because I played my freshman year. I played football. I was a baseball kid growing up, and then because I wanted to play a sport in the winter, I was like, all right, I'm not good enough for basketball. We'll do wrestling. And when I ended up, when I ended up, going through those issues, the only team that I was able to still practice with was the wrestling team. You know, and by my senior year, I wasn't playing baseball anymore. I had decided football wasn't really worth it because it was just too much for me at the time to be going through all that three seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But wrestling, I was like, yo, like this is it, dude. I love the hell out of this. I'm not even good at it, but like I like it enough that I want to do it. And it gave me something to look forward to so that even when I was sad, I had to kind of sit there and be like, all right, yeah, but like I really want to go to wrestling. So maybe I should try to do well in school. Maybe I should not like end up back in the hospital again and things like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think that martial arts can. I think martial arts can literally save your life. I actually do really think that. And yeah, man, I have a lot of respect for you for promoting martial arts and all the work you do. Thank you for training me, man. And if anyone out there is interested in hearing more from Scott, he's active on his YouTube channel. He does live streams, and I'm sure you're pretty responsive. So if anyone has any questions or wants some guidance or just to connect, I'm sure you can reach out to Scott and get that. So here's his channel on screen. Do you have any?
Hey, thank you very much for having me on, man.
Of course, gang. You got any closing words of wisdom for the folks at home?
Yeah, at the end of the day, life is full of choices. From the second you wake up to the second you go to bed, you're making choices. Bad things are going to happen, but at the end of the day, it's all a choice how you're going to act and how you're going to react to those bad things. At the end of the day, your success is a choice.
Absolutely, man. And today we are choosing to get better. So I appreciate you calling in, man, and I hope you have a great day. And I look forward to talking to you soon, Scott.
Oh yeah, man. See you soon. Peace.
All right, see you, bro. Man, shout out Scott. Massive, massive shout out to Scott. I got a donation for $2 by Spot Cam. Said, "Love you and your content, brother." Thank you, man. I really appreciate that, and I look forward to getting some more main channel content out for you guys. I know you've been waiting, and just hope you know that I got some good stuff in store, and that we're working, man. We're working on providing that entertainment. Um, Nice Irish lad for the $5 said, "Hey, been watching for a while. I really appreciate you keeping it real and doing what you want to do. Anyways, whoop whoop, keep the love real." Yeah, whoop whoop. We're going to be whoop whooping here in about a week with the Juggalo video, man, and I'm excited for that. And I just hope I do justice with the Juggalo video, because I think it's some of the last recorded footage of Crip Daddy Donovan alive, man. And he was a beautiful guy, and I'm really happy I got to share those moments with him. And yeah, on the same topic of today, focusing on what we control. I've had a hard time editing this video because it's just been weird to look at the footage of someone who's passed, and I've been really in my head about it, and probably just focusing on a little bit of negative stuff about it, instead of focusing on, there's nothing I can do to bring someone back, and there's nothing that I could do to remedy that situation. And it was Donovan's dream to go to the gathering, and I know he wanted to see the video, and it sucks he can't see it, but all I can control is making the video. And yeah, I think sometimes I overthink things and twist things up in my head and make them what they don't need to be. But we are working on that video, and we should have the Patreon cut out to y'all pretty soon. So yeah, man, shout out to Scott. And as far as I know, Scott said that he was looking at chat and someone said something mean in chat. If you guys have any aspirations to be a content creator or be on the internet, man, there's going to be people that are going to want to rip you down and tear you down. And I know that if I were to wake up every day and I were to look through my DMs and I were to let people affect me by what they say to me, man, I'll be so fucked up, because literally every day, and I'm not complaining, I'm just saying it's the reality of it. Every day, people are just trying to cut me down, bro. And that's part of the ball game. That's the give and the take when you become a content creator. So yeah, some people's opinions and some people's words you should just not listen to. Because if I listened to everyone who sent me messages, bro, they would, it would be done for me. That's for sure. And that's, it's part of the game. So, all right, let's take another caller. Let's get into it. Take another caller. Gang, are we ready to go?
Gang, gang.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with right now?
My name's Kalechi.
Kalechi.
Hi, Brandon.
How you doing?
Yeah,
man?
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I've been trying to get on the stream for like a couple of days now, but finally got on today. So
Yeah, happy to have you on, man. Tell me,
yeah.
what's up? What's going on?
Well, I wanted to join on the day when we did the thing about people who've passed on,
Mm-hmm.
because I had someone who passed on. Like one of my friends passed away last year, and because it's hard to speak about it, because they went through so much in their life, and they decided to take their own life when they were only 16 years old, because I'm 17 right now. And I don't know, that kind of stuff, it just fucks you up, because that since that day, nothing's been the same, I feel.
Yeah, man.
Like, I've just been in such a dark state since that day.
Yeah, nothing probably will be the same ever again. I mean, that's just me speaking from my experience, but yeah, I feel that, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, what are your thoughts on all that going down now? Like, what goes through your head when you think about that situation?
Well, next month is gonna be like a year since it happened, but now it's because you can't forget about it because people tell you to just forget about it and just move on, but it's not as easy as people would say, you know. You can't just forget someone who you used to hang out with and all that. So now, because I try to always avoid thinking about it because it just gets me so depressed if I even just think about them at all. Like it can, like, just the sadness that just overtakes me. It's too much.
Yeah, I feel that, and I feel like sometimes I'm caught between wanting to forget and then not wanting to let their memory fade. You know, you don't want to. You love that person. You don't want to
Exactly.
forget them completely, but it hurts to think
Yeah.
about.
Exactly. It's like you want to think about them, but you can't at the same time. It's fucked.
What do you think is the most like hurtful part about it when you think about it?
Shit. The regrets easily regrets because the last time we ever spoke, it wasn't like a good conversation. It was they were kind of angry with me, and to find out the next day that they killed themselves, it makes you think like, oh fuck, what if I asked to hang out that day instead of arguing and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, if it feels like you can't do much, at the same time you think just one thing could have changed the whole trajectory of the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a hard thing to juggle is being like, "Oh, was this out of my control completely or could I have like butterfly affected and made a difference or
Yeah,
yeah, like that's you never know what just sending someone a simple kind message would do and not to say that would have made a
exactly.
difference, but damn, bro. Do you feel like you're beating yourself up about it frequently?
Well, yeah, I would say so because just the fact because I've gone through every single like fictional situation of what I could have done or what I could have said or what could have transpired that could have probably prevented it. So I think regret is just the biggest thing that fucks me over about it.
Mhm. And when you feel that regret, what do you think you realistically could have done? Just asked them to hang out, or
I
just
just
been a helping hand, or what?
because if you're friends with someone, you never really say like I don't know, like I felt like if I just said I love you or something, just something like that. I don't know if that could have changed the whole situation because like you don't see a lot of guys like telling their friends I love you and all that. It's not like a really normal thing, I feel. And I don't know, when someone's really going through something, I feel just hearing that from someone who doesn't normally say stuff like that could really change their mindset.
Yeah, showing them that people out there care.
Because I did show I cared, with my actions and all that, but I never like articulated it with my words, you know. So
Yeah. Did when you guys got into that argument, what transpired exactly?
I was well, they left a group chat we were in, so I asked a friend to add them back, but when they sent like a screenshot of me asking them to come back, they got angry then, because at the time they transitioned, so I think I used the wrong pronoun, and then they got really angry about that. But my friend reassured me that that wasn't like that didn't really affect them that much. You know, it wasn't like a last straw kind of thing or whatever. But that day, because when that happened, I was kind of like, oh, okay, fuck this. I'm not gonna like, because I did want to have a conversation, but after that, I was kind of pissed off too. So I just I just lived my own life and focused on myself that day.
Mm-hmm.
And then that happened. And I was kind of like, fuck, man. What if I did actually have a conversation? What if I did actually just DM them and ask them about how things were going?
Yeah, man. I think that yeah, I think that's really human just to have that thought, but I do feel like, we can't control what other people do. That's completely out of our control and I feel like as long as you know in your heart that you were, trying your best given the circumstances. Like, if, if that person is an imperfect person, it's like you can't just expect you to be kind and nice to them at all times, especially if they're going through shit and they're fucking up. And yeah, you got into an argument the day before, but you can't. I feel like you can't blame yourself for that. I know easier said than done, of
Yeah.
course, but you can't blame yourself from that. And some people are damaged, man, and it's a sad reality. And if you were to, have you ever been in a place where you felt like you could leave this earth on your own by your own hands?
Well, yeah, yeah. I got in a lot of trouble at school because of that. Because I said, because um, yeah, this year while I was in school, I said something like oh, I wanted to kill myself or something like that. So I got put on this kind of watch list at school. But
Do
um,
you feel like if you would have taken action on that, that
not
thought, which I hope you don't, do you think it would be fair to blame other people for you doing that?
no, I wouldn't blame anyone if that happened, if that ever transpired. I would say it's all on me, really.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that's your decision and it's your life, and
Yeah.
I think it's really normal of you to feel that guilt and that shame and those
Uh,
questions. But I do feel like, as hard as it is, it's probably just best to not beat yourself up about it and to not let those thoughts eat away at you.
well, what you're saying, that's one of the things he said in his suicide note. The like the first sentence was just, I've given up on all my goals. I have no motivation. There's nothing I want to do anymore, and I hope no one's sad about what I'm about to do. Something along those lines, just trying to let people know that they were gonna do this, but it wouldn't be their fault. But it was still so hard to take in that kind of statement.
Yeah, yeah, man. Do you think there's any things you can do in your own life that would maybe honor their memory or make you feel a little bit better about, how everything went down?
Well, they said they wished us to like all my friends and stuff to be successful in life and just do what we wanted to do and all that, like just move on. And I think if I did um reach a point where I was happy and um I could tell, like you said the other day, like tell your kids about their memory and stuff like that, that would be a way to honor them.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to look at it. And I know with my brother, man, I have so many regrets about how that all went down. But I notice if I focus on the regrets, it makes me feel terrible. But if I focus on thinking about, if my brother is watching my life like it's a TV show, I want him to enjoy it and to be proud and to not be looking down on me frustrated. Like, damn, Brandon, why can't you just get it the fuck together and do something? I want him to be like, this is a pretty good life this guy's living, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
that's just something that I think about whenever I'm really beating myself up about the loss of the people I love.
Like if they could see you.
Yeah. If they're watching, would they enjoy just watching you sit around and be upset and overthink what you could have done to fix a situation that's permanent, or would they rather see you tackle the future and tackle a new day with excitement and with passion for the future?
Exactly.
So, is there anything you think you can do this month, today, tomorrow, or something you can implement into your routine that might, ease this pain and make things feel a little bit better?
Well, I think since this happened, it's been like my most productive year because I've tried to do so much, like get over it. Like I started doing, like, in the past, I never did exercise regularly. I never went to like any gyms or anything like that. When I started doing Muay Thai, I've started doing daily jogs. I've started reading, just doing productive things that can get you in a state where you're not feeling so depressed and so sad about what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's great, man. I think that's great.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sorry you went through that, dude. And I'm proud of you for at
Yeah.
17 handling it so maturely and trying to just be positive and build forward instead of letting it tear you down. Because I feel like when you have someone that takes their own life like that, it can really fuck with your mind and make you think, I don't know, make you think some pretty bad thoughts. And I hope you don't let those bad thoughts in, man.
Yeah, man. Um, I think your content really helped because I think I found your channel around the same time while I was really depressed, and I binged all your videos. I saw your whole progression from when you first started doing like um that thing where I forgot what it was, like the masseuse or something, fucking
Elite Spa,
giving
yeah,
hand jobs.
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, and the wine stuff, and just seeing how you came up really, and that really inspired me because I want to do YouTube too, and seeing how you started from basically nothing and built this whole channel in almost a year is just insane to me.
yeah. Yeah, man, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you watching. And I hope if there's some goals or some dreams you have that you can muster up that dog in you and go chase them. I think you owe that. I think you owe that to yourself, and I think you owe that to your friend. You
Yeah.
know, so
Well, that's one of my biggest problems. I feel like I have all these plans, but I can never like muster the motivation. I'm
what
always like I'm a chronic procrastinator, really.
what plans are you referring to when you say that?
Like I've set up a lot of things to start a YouTube channel. I've got everything in place. I've watched so many videos on how to really do all that stuff, but I can never, you know, in the sense of you can first is something like perfectionism, because I am making videos, but I can never like really get to a point where I'm happy with what I'm making, and also the fear of being perceived. You're scared to put stuff out because you think people are gonna say it's shit or make fun of you for it,
Mm-hmm.
and that goes back to childhood for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, well, I think people are going to they're going to perceive you either way, just on a smaller scale, and there's no escape from people perceiving you. And if it's one of your dreams to chase after this thing, like, why let other people's possible perceptions of you hold you back? And as far as the perfection thing, man, I struggle with that a lot too. But um, me and my graphs, bro. I got to get back to my graphs here, but there's like, if you think about it in a graph, like perfectionism versus productivity, like the more you focus on it being perfect, you might be stuck at square one and you might never even get to be
yeah,
productive. But if you're overly productive and you're not perfecting anything, then you might just put out a bunch of slop and a bunch of shit that no one cares about. So it's all about finding a balance, man, finding that balance between creativity and perfectionism and productivity. And I think just don't
yeah,
get caught in your trap. Don't get caught in the trap. And sometimes giving yourself limitations and giving yourself guidelines to follow, as far as like, I have to get a video out by this date, that enables
exactly.
you to just be more productive. I think
Yeah, because
setting
I
deadlines.
get into the state where I start working like so incessantly on one thing that isn't really important, because it's easier to waste time doing that one thing and actually doing the actual productive thing you set out to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my biggest problem with getting things done is you find a way to make some irrelevant thing look like work. And every time you say you're working, you're doing that irrelevant thing instead of actually working.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah,
Yeah, well, I feel like if your goal is to just be productive and it's not quantifiable, then sometimes you find yourself spinning your wheels. But if your goal is to get something done and you actually know what you're doing and where you're going with it, I think that's a good thing to do. And yeah, I really appreciate you calling in, man. And I hope you start that channel, and I wish you well with it. And yeah, man, I'd say get after it, man. I would say start today, start tomorrow, thinking about stuff, planning stuff, and working towards it, man. Because time is slipping, man. Time is slipping.
yeah.
So, but yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for calling in, man. Appreciate you.
All right. See you, man.
See you, bro. Gang. All right, let me see. Check. Spot Cam with the $2 said, "Love you and your content, brother." I might have already read that. I don't know if I did. Not that good at looking at chat, but yeah, let's get right back into another caller here. What do you say? Dun, dun. Yo.
Yo,
How you
meatball.
doing, Brennan?
How you doing, bro? We ready to rock?
Yeah, let's get
I'm
it.
good. I'm good.
Hell yeah. Hey, man.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'd say I'm having a pretty decent day. How are you feeling?
Not too bad, not too bad. It's been rough, but it's getting better. Every day's brighter.
Yeah, man. Are you on a little health and wellness journey of yourself?
Absolutely. I don't, like I said, I don't want to talk too much about where I came from or what I did, but I came from a bad place, did a lot of shit I regret. But for the past, I'd say like 5 to 7 years, I've been trying to make up for it. And part of that involves I got my head cracked open by a doctor because all the concussions I got swole my brain. So I had to get what's called a craniotomy, which has fucked up my training because I was doing boxing and stuff right now. So I've had to find other outlets for my anger, healthy outlets. One of them being my cat, another being cooking. Third is being like reconnecting with my parents who did a lot of damage to me, but that's where it kind of boils down to.
Yeah. So was boxing kind of a big outlet for you and something that was like your dream to pursue?
Not my dream to pursue. Like I never thought I'd be a prize fighter or none of that stuff. But I always liked this the feeling of hitting something or hitting somebody consensually. Because like again, I'm not going to get into too much, but I used to rob people, and when you see that fear in their eyes, you never forget it. When you hear them screaming, it haunts your dreams. Whether you believe it or not right now, 5, 10 years down the road, if anybody's listening to this that also does that, it'll happen to you. So what boxing was good for was having a healthy outlet to get out my aggression, get out my childhood trauma in a way that wasn't actually hurting anybody else. So that's what I loved about it.
Yeah, that controlled
Yeah.
aggression.
Yeah.
Damn. So since you've been dealing with that kind of dude, I'm messing up all my words. Concussive issues.
You're good.
Have you made any progress? Like is your brain getting better?
Yeah, that's the good thing. So basically, the craniotomy, all it does is they remove a huge portion of your skull. So basically, for the past 3 months, I've been walking around without 1/5 of my skull.
Hmm.
But the good news is it just helps out my brain. So my faculties are still about me. I've still been able to write, play piano. I suck at learning French. The Duolingo owl's always on my ass, but I'm trying. You
Yeah.
know, all in all, like I'd say I'm still there. The thing that sucks the most is not feeling protected anymore. Especially when your brain is just out there. It's been the hardest part about it. But in regards to my brain, feeling good there.
So do you permanently have 20% of your skull missing, or is that something? Are they gonna
No,
they're gonna replace
no, no,
that?
no.
They're gonna replace that, or
So a craniotomy, when they take out that skull, it doesn't go anywhere. They put it in a freezer. Uh, without dogs and myself, like I'm in Ontario. It's in like a large hospital right now in a freezer, and 8 to 12 weeks after you get it cut out, they reassess you and see if it's ready to be put back in. A lot of times when people have to get a craniotomy, there's damage to what they call the bone flap. So they might have to repair that with, I don't know if you've seen Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I have not.
No, so Randy Quaid's character in that, he had a plate in his head because that's what they used to do back in the day. That if you lost that part of your skull, they put a plate in your head. Nowadays, they take it out and they put it in this weird kind of freezer. Wait for you to heal rather. Make sure your brain isn't still swelling, and then they put it back on and they kind of bone weld it, from what I've been told. Bone weld it.
They bust out the welder on your skull piece.
Hopefully, it's not an acetylene torch or anything, but it's they give it like a kind of suture type thing to let it heal up. And after I get the surgery again, it's gonna be another 3 to 4 months of it being all soft and weird. So like, yeah, it's gonna be a sensation.
Yeah, man. Are you looking forward to just getting that dome back, getting your dome complete?
Oh, absolutely. Fuck, I hate wearing hats all the time. Let me tell you. Like having the safety and security of it, even if I'm not like trying to be bad or like trying to like go out and do anything anymore. It's gonna feel better to walk down the streets.
Yeah.
Just yeah, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, man, that's insane to think about having a missing part of my brain in a freezer in some hospital. You ever think about going back to your old ways and busting into the hospital and robbing them for your brain back or your skull back?
Man, I have. The one thing I kept saying, because because of my PTSD, when I was like in the hospital bed, they had me strapped up to the whole fucking gurney.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like this weird diaper thing on me, like this weird rubber fucking diaper that was like strapping me down
Ooh.
to the thing. And like the entire time I was screaming and being like, get me the fuck out of here, blah, 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 let's do this. Then when they got me out of it, all I wanted to do was see my skull.
You just want to
I
look
just
at it?
wanted to see, yeah, exactly, and maybe touch it, even if it's not sanitary, because it's like when you're in a situation like that, man, come on.
Yeah. I would almost not believe it. I'll be like, bro, I got to see it with my own fucking eyes. There's no way.
The weirdest fucking thing, when they shaved my head to take out the craniotomy, they fucked it up and they didn't shave it all the way. So when I got home, I had to shave my brain.
Jesus, man.
Like,
They took your skull
the
and your swag.
exactly, fuck, man. I had little to no swag, so how could they do that to me?
Dude, that's the worst part of
Yeah,
it all, isn't it?
it is. It is.
Did you get it? Did you get a nice fade and a nice lineup?
No, fuck, man. I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Now it's just got a lot more grays from the stress.
You went raw
Once I
with
get my
it?
head back, I want to get a nice haircut for the first time in a while. It's a plan.
Yeah, dude. Jeez, Louise. So, yeah, you got a lot on your plate right now with that. And how far are we from getting your pieces back together?
It should be sometime this month. I should get a call from my neurosurgeon, and then we should be able to figure it out. But I'm still not looking forward to the meeting because before they actually put it in, you have to get assessed, and I have a lot of anxiety still. If I'll get there and they'll be like, "Oh, you need a couple more months,"
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's giving me the most stress now. But once I get it back in, it's gonna feel good. It's helped with a lot of positive changes in my life, or at least reinforcing them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I still have my own problems with alcohol, with weed. I love weed. It's great, but still struggle with that. Even though it's the last thing you should do when you have a fucking brain injury. But I don't know. I try to just be a nicer person, give back more when I can, and help out. It's not easy because of I'm sure you or somebody have had to do this, especially growing up in Baltimore. Like you got to cut some people out sometimes, and
Yeah,
it's
dude.
harder than it seems because as negative as they might be to you, you have positive. You remember this time when you guys were going down the sewer. You remember blah 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 blah, and it gets lonely. So like the one thing that's helped me out is you know walking down the street early in the morning and smiling at old people and having them smile back and like not be afraid of me.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the only things that brings me a lot of like good joy. Other than that, I'm just still supplementing it with what I can. That's why it's good to hear that you're sober for October. Like I'm trying to get there. Maybe November will be my month, but it's noble aspiration there.
Absolutely, man. And I think the way things are going, man, I think November 1st is going to come, and I'm definitely going to think that the best version of me is a sober one, and I'll probably just continue being sober. But yeah, I like what you said about cutting people off, and even with everything that's going on, in the world right now, I think it's really important that you look at the people around you and the people that you're friends with, and you just question if someone is taking a lot from you, and if someone seems to be a massive burden in your life. I think it's good to ask why they are in your life. And not everything is transactional, and it's not like you should cut everyone out and question everyone, but you get what I'm saying. Like there's certain people in your life that are just there to take everything from you, man, and there's certain things in this world that are here to take everything. And
those people that love when you get paid so they can just go and run up a bar tab with you or go do whatever.
Man, yeah, like I've definitely had some friends in my life that under the guise of being my best friend, they have just tried to take from me, man, and take, and I have people that owe me a ton of money, and I have I've just cut those people out. And some people are not your friend, and they will just, bro. Some of the worst people in the world will tell you how great they are and how they're your best friend, and ask you for shit over and over and over, and they'll never ever be there for you ever.
That's absolutely right. That's why like one of the hardest things for me is like reconnecting with my parents is one of the things that I did because like I come from like an abusive upbringing and shit, and like I'm at the forefront with them with that. They're okay, and I hate that it's a fucking Bill Cosby bit, but it's a bit in Bill Cosby himself when he's talking about his kids loving seeing his grandma. And it's like she's not a nice person. That's a scared old woman who doesn't want to go to hell. And like that's what it feels like with my parents now, and like they're willing to make apologies for a lot of stuff. The brain injury helps, don't get me wrong. I cash in that check every time I can.
Yeah. Get the
But
sympathy.
yeah, it's nice hearing stories from when they were younger. And like right now beside me, I'm actually in the process of scanning all of me and my three sisters, all of our childhood pictures, a bunch of pictures from when my parents were kids and like teenagers and stuff, and my huge extended family that I, believe it or not, never met. So like that's been good to just open myself up to that, even though I have my qualms. I still don't know what their intentions are. Again, like I said, if they're actually trying to help me or they're just trying to get brownie points. But it still feels good to like learn that, especially when you've had that missing from your existence. Because I don't know, like, do you know like your grandparents and everything?
Yeah, my grandpa on my dad's side died when I was 5. My grandma on my dad's side died when I was 19, actually in my house, and I was her secondary caregiver for a long time.
Yep.
And then my mom's parents are still alive, but my grandma on my mom's side has ovarian cancer and Parkinson's, and my papa, I don't really want to say what he has going on, but yeah, he's had some health
Right,
issues.
right.
He's had some health issues for sure. But yeah, they're still alive, man. On my
No,
mom's.
no, and like that's sick that you at least, and like not sick that like the bad stuff happened, but sick that you had the relationship
Yeah.
and everything there. Because like I never met any of my grandparents. When going through these pictures, I have a couple from when I was like 2 that like I can see like sitting on their laps and everything, but I have no memory of them. I couldn't tell you their names. So like if you have that connection with your family, like that's a blessing in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like
dude, that's a massive blessing. That time we get with our loved ones, and it's a beautiful thing to love someone. And yeah, what's that quote? It's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. And sometimes
yeah,
the most cliche things are so true, man.
absolutely, absolutely.
So are there some things that you are going to implement into your regimen to get geared up for getting that dome back, for getting that skull back, man?
Well, the only thing that I haven't been able to fucking do is push-ups. And like cuz like I usually just use like I have my own free weights and everything, just light stuff cuz I like it to box. I have a 25, 15 pound, and I used to do a lot of push-ups, tricep dips, things like that. The push-ups hurt my fucking head, not because of like anything. It's just like I'm a tall guy, I'm 6'4". When I go all the way down to the floor, that pressure fucks with my head, then I start getting a headache. So like I'm excited to get like that back in like the exercise regimen. But when it comes to like regular life, this is gonna sound fucked up, but I'm gonna be a lot more forgiving to people that have deformities, because I've always been like a real PC guy, at least I tried to be. But I fuck up sometimes. I've said bad words and all that shit. But I don't know. Like I always thought, like even somebody like NBA YoungBoy when he's got like the 3 divots on his head, I look at that. I wouldn't make fun of it, but I'd be like, "What the fuck's going on there?" But now that I'm missing my skull, I'm like, that's karma. That's some karma right there. I got to learn from that. It's just like don't make fun of people for something that's going on, or don't even like try to think bad about it just because it's something you don't understand.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I think they call him Dent Head or some shit, dude, on the internet. They just spam him with
yeah,
that shit.
I saw that like fucking it was that Trap Lore Ross documentary that I don't know if you saw that.
Mm-mm.
No, but like somebody was
Is
talking
that
about
what they
anyway.
call? Am I making that up, or do they call him that? Did I just make that up?
No, I saw one of his like somebody he was seeing like called him Denthead. I did see Denthead at one point.
Yeah, I thought I heard that. If I made that up, I'm sorry, Mr. Youngboy.
You just started it. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna come spin my block, bro. And there's not much.
Oh,
Actually, yeah, he'd be fucked if he did that. But yeah, man. So I guess yeah. Is there any other like questions, comments, concerns, or anything you want to say about your situation, man? I think you have a very unique situation, and you're handling it pretty swell.
Appreciate that. all I want to tell like anybody who's listening, no matter what you're going through, just respect yourself at the end of the day. Take care of yourself first. Don't let somebody else tell you necessarily how you can handle that situation, but try to handle it in the healthiest manner. Take things day by day, step by step. If you need to do shit in stages, whether it's dishes, like, okay, I'm going to wash it, I'm going to wait 30 minutes, and I'm going to dry, whatever the fuck it is. Just try to stay positive with that kind of shit, like, because anything you got going on, at the end of the day, you're the only person that has to fall asleep with your thoughts and your problems. So take that into account and like respect that and be like, I got to do what I got to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and focus on what we can control. And if you need to break things down, like he said, I think that's beautiful advice, man. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us, and I look forward to you getting your fucking skull back, bro. I'm excited for that.
Thanks, Brendan. All right, I wish you luck. Everybody else, by the way, I was talking to in the waiting room there, great people. So you're gonna have a lot of good conversations tonight.
Hell yeah, man. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a great evening.
You too.
Peace, man. Shit. All right, let's see. I missed a few donos. Let's see if I can't re-look at them. Gus Cervantes with the $2. New day comes, new strength and new thoughts. Yeah, man. Once we break out of that cycle, I think we can get caught in that cycle where a new day brings old thoughts and old shit, but that's only if we let it, right? That's in our control. We can control that. Staniel with the $10. Hey, Brandon, a while ago my friend Eli was chilling with you, and he called me and allowed me to talk to you. Just wanted to say I appreciated that you took the time to video call me. It meant a lot. Man, I appreciate that you take the time to be here in this chat right now and to send a message to me, because there's so many different streams you could be in and so many different things you could be doing with your time, and I definitely try to not take that for granted, man, because yeah, I think it's really easy to look past that. Like, damn, I have like 100 or 200 people that care enough about me to, sit here with me and watch me talk to the camera and watch me talk to people. And, I really thank you for that. And I thank everyone in chat for being here. It definitely does mean a lot to me. And yeah, I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for you guys. I really am. So yeah, let's take another caller. Yo. We're good to go?
We have Sensei.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Sensei or Senesai. What's going on?
Yo.
Yo, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm having a good day, man. It's a good Sunday. Sticking to the regimen, and we're just getting better, bro. You having a good day?
Honestly, I feel really tense today, but I mean, today's been pretty good. I tried to go to church this morning, but the church that I used to go to closed down, so it's kind of hard to find a new church right now.
Shit, dude. Is church a regular part of your life, or that's something new you're implementing?
No, that's something new I'm implementing. I don't really believe 100% Bible or anything like that, but I believe there has to be something greater than ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, me too, man. That's a comforting thought, and just you saying that makes me want to go to church, man. I've never been to church in my life. And I think, yeah, I would like to do that. So, how did you feel when you went there and you couldn't get in? Was it a big letdown? Did it piss you off, or no big deal?
Nah, it wasn't really a big deal. It was just kind of give and take,
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming there looking for guidance, so I'm coming there looking to take from them. I can't be mad if they don't got anything to give at the moment.
Yeah, that's a good perspective right there, brother. Yeah, what are you going through? What makes you want to call in and connect?
So I'm gonna explain my living situation real quick, and then we'll get into that. I gotta be kind of careful with my words here.
Yeah, make sure you don't say anything that could give up your identity or anything, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm living with my girlfriend and her family. I moved out of my parents' house whenever I was 17 years old and moved in with my mom. But my mom was living in a 2-bed trailer with 2 kids and me. And so it wasn't really working. So I had to go work for a fencing job making $8 an hour. And that really sucked. And then I got an opportunity to move in with my girlfriend and her family. So I took it because I figured at least then I'll have a nice place to stay,
Mm-hmm.
But since I moved in here, I've been dealing with emotional homelessness. I'm not sure if you know what that is. I have a nice place and everything, but like I don't feel like I belong here. I don't feel like it's my home.
You feel like, yeah, it's physically your home, but it's just you are.
Yeah.
Do you feel unwelcome?
No, they're really kind people. I feel like the mother and the father are fairly kind people. I don't agree with everything they do, and you'll never agree with everything somebody does. Nobody's perfect. We're all human, but um, it just doesn't feel like home to me. Like whenever you lay down in your bed and go to sleep at night after you get off of work, sometimes it feels like I'm still at work at home. It's just not nice, you know?
Like you can't relax. You're unable to be relaxed
Yeah,
and comfortable there.
bas- basically, man.
Damn, bro. Yeah, I've never heard it. I've never heard of that term, emotional homelessness, but it sounds like how I felt in
Yeah,
college, bro. I felt like that in my college dorm. I fucking hated it there.
but anyways, her brother was supposed to go take his senior pictures yesterday or something like that, and he got pissed off over something small like a wrinkle in the shirt, or he wanted to wear a baseball cap or something along those lines, and he said that he was gonna unalive himself, and like we didn't really take him that serious, and then he came downstairs with like those like pointy dog collars, I guess, and then kind of went from there, and then tackled a little fight and everything like that. He cut his ear open. Um, I just feel like I don't really know what to do because I'm in this situation because my girlfriend's pregnant and we're about to have a kid November 15th. And we're in a good situation where we can move out, but she wanted to stay here to be around her family and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like it's a good place to raise a kid in an environment where stuff like this is particularly going on. And I feel like if I choose to move out, I'm either being a bad father or it's going to cause a major strain in our relationship because I don't think she'll move out too.
And this is, I'm assuming you've talked to her about this and like explained
Yeah.
everything.
So that's my situation, and I feel for her brother too because that's family to me, you know.
Yeah.
And she's pregnant, so she could be depressed or whatever after all of this, and it's just kind of real twisted up right now. Everything got me real tense.
Yeah, man, that's a tough spot. Living somewhere where you don't feel comfortable, you got a kid on the way, and then the brother of your baby mama or your wife is suicidal. Do you think that there's anything that you could do to help the brother, or is that kind of a bit of a rough situation?
Well, like I brought him a baked potato after all of that happened. I know that sounds corny as hell, but I made baked potatoes that morning. I gave him like some boxing pads basically and told him if you need something to punch, you don't have to punch holes in the walls. He can punch me or punch the pads. And I don't know. I just feel like there's a lack of understanding between us. I don't think that he wants the guidance to come from me, if that makes any sense. I don't think he respects me like that.
Yeah, 100%. If someone's not willing to hear you, then I mean, what's the point in fucking talking to them?
I totally feel that.
But I think that's a great solution. Is he punched a hole in the wall and you gave him like a punching bag or something to hit that would.
I gave him some boxing gloves and those little hand pads or whatever that he hits.
Yeah, that's a great way to redirect someone's energy.
You know.
As far as your girl, I mean, what does she say whenever you tell her like, look, this doesn't really feel like home to me, and I don't know that this is the most comfortable environment for us to bring a kid into the world.
This has always been home to her, so she don't know anything else is basically the gist of the story I know. But I don't know. I feel like there comes a time in everyone's life whenever you got to choose to grow up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And especially whenever you're having a kid and you have the financial stability to move out or whatever, I feel like you should definitely take that opportunity.
Yeah. And do you feel like she's kind of unwilling to compromise?
Yeah, I do, man. And that kind of hurts my feelings. I'm in this sticky situation to where I can live somewhere and be unhappy for the sake of my child, I guess, so I could be viewed as a good father, or I can leave and be viewed as a bad father, I guess, even though I felt I was doing the right thing.
And have you gone like apartment hunting or house hunting with her and just like showed her some things that could be viable options? And if so, like how does she respond?
Well, like apartment out here in Bakersfield, California, the average rent is $1,500 for your apartment without utilities like electricity and water. That's gonna run you like $300 a piece too.
What a good fucking deal, bro.
Yeah, I know, amazing. So I used to live in Oklahoma, and if I stay out here in Bakersfield, there's not too many jobs for me, so I got to go to community college for welding. But if I go back out to Oklahoma, I could do windmill engineering, and they'll put you on even if you have a felony or whatever. You don't even need a high school diploma for that, man.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but you make good money. You make like 21 an hour, and minimum wage out there is 8.
But then I guess you're left with the decision of like, do you go do that and then have that distance between your child, or do you stay in your situation?
Yeah, you get what I'm saying. And my family isn't all out here. My dad and my mom got divorced when I was younger, so my dad's out here and my mom's out there. But I don't get along with my dad. Like, we've concealed our ties and everything like that, but we still aren't like the closest father and son couple, I'd say.
How do you feel your relationship with your is it your girlfriend or your wife? Just so I can stop fucking
It's my girlfriend, man. I feel kind of odd about marriage because my parents got divorced, and I don't want to get married unless I know for a fact it's the one. And we've been together for 4 years, and I feel like now's the time where you kind of tie the knot or drop. And we have a kid on the way, and I feel like everything's saying tie the knot, but like where we live and the situation that we're in, and the fact that you don't want better for yourself or better for your kid, kind of hurts my feelings, and like that really makes me want to drop, you know?
Yeah, man. I 100% understand that. And when you tell her that, when you say those things, what does she say? What's her response?
She gets overwhelmed and says she can't talk about this right now, and then we never talk about it if it really gets to a certain point. Anytime I feel like she feels like the cards are stacked against her in some kind of way, if it's not the way that she wants things, then she gets overwhelmed and she can't talk about it. And I don't really like that, man. I feel like it's understandable if you need your space and everything like that. If you don't want to talk, like, you can have your time, but like, can we talk about this in an hour from now at least?
Yeah, because running from an issue forever is never going to make it go away, and that's just
Yeah.
I can sympathize with her, but that's incredibly just unproductive.
But this is what I meant. Whenever I fell in love with her, you know, people grow and they grow differently, and they grow closer and they grow apart. And I just feel like we've been growing apart these past 2 years, you know? And so, like, she's just not, I feel like in a sense, she's not the same person I fell in love with right now, you know?
Yeah. How do you feel she's changed over the past 4 years?
For the better. I feel like she's gained an incredibly good work ethic. She works all the time. She's pregnant right now and she's still working, but I feel she's gotten incredibly depressed after COVID hit and stuff like that. She used to be one to want to go outside and hang out with friends and stuff, and now she just kind of isolates herself in her room, sleeps until she has to go to work, and that's about it, man.
Do you feel like if you gave her a hard stance and you gave her, and I know ultimatums aren't good, but if you're saying that communication is not working, have you brought up the fact that, like, look, if we can't solve this issue and I'm not willing to budge on this issue of living in this home, have you given her an ultimatum of like, I am going to move out?
I still haven't made my decision because I feel like I have to make a decision to be unhappy with where I live and be viewed as a good father. Or if I make that full commitment to leave, I gotta make that full commitment and give her that ultimatum, you know? And that's where it stands in between. I don't want to give anyone an ultimatum, but at the same time, you have your life, I have my life, and we both got to do what's good for each other, you know?
Yeah. But does she not know what you're thinking about doing as far as moving out?
No, we've talked several times. She knows what my ideals are and everything like that. I just don't think that's what she wants for her life. I don't know what she wants for her life, but she won't give me a direct answer. I ask her where she wants to be 10 years from now, and she can't really answer that, you know?
Yeah, I feel like that's a hard situation when you're facing someone who's uncompromising, and I feel like if you could, I don't know. This is definitely a tough situation, and I definitely don't know. But it's like, do you want to be in this house with your brother, who is a stressor to me, and where I'm not comfortable, and I'm gonna be miserable, or would you rather us be close by your parents so we can still be around them and still have access to them, but maybe I'd be a little more comfortable, or would you rather me move out and our child grows up in a split family household, which is obviously bad. I mean, those are the three.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm kind of being, I don't really got the balls in this situation. I'm not willing to give her the ultimatum at the moment, you know? And I feel like I need to grow a pair, I guess, and be able to say what needs to be said. But
Yeah, man, it's your
We've been
life.
in a relationship for 4 years, man. You know, like we're having a kid together. Shit hurts.
I know something about relationships that it's all about what standard you set. So if you've set a standard to where, you know, you're a pushover or you don't have the balls to confront her on things, I mean, she's gonna walk all over you, and that's with every relationship, man. Whatever standard you set is how it goes.
Yeah, big failure on my part there, man.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it a failure, man. You sound like a nice guy, and you sound like you're facing someone who's not really willing to compromise.
Well, like I got my problems too. Like I got a piss test 3 weeks out from now, and I've been cutting down my smoking. But I smoked weed for the past 3 years, and now I'm only smoking at nighttime and in the middle of the day until next week, and then I can only smoke nothing at all. And then it just fucking sucks, man. I used to smoke every day all the time, and now everything's stressful because I'm quitting and stuff like that. It got me really antsy and anxious. And then on
Yeah.
top of that, I got all the family trauma with her brother just trying to, you know, and
Well, with the kid on the way,
So-
what when you envision like the best version of a father or the best version of how you could be a father, I mean, what do you envision? Do you envision a man that is, you know, doesn't have the balls to confront their significant other, or a man that's, you know, struggling to quit smoking weed, or what is your vision for that?
um, my vision is to be the best person I can be. You can only take it one step at a time, man. After I turned 18, I kind of dropped down the drain. Like I chose to do wrong with my life, and I wasn't doing any good, you know. And now I'm picking back up the pieces and piecing it back together. Like I didn't intentionally have a kid. Like sometimes stuff just happens, you know. But I'm trying to be the best person I can be to be the father I want to be, you know.
Well, yeah, how do you
It's
how do you quantify what the best person is? Because that's like a pretty vague. Is there like
I
a
feel like you can't be the best person no matter what, because even 10 years from now, you're still going to wish you were that future better person of yourself. You get what I'm saying? You just got to strive to be better every single day. You know, whenever you're doing something wrong and you just shouldn't do it, man. If you know you probably shouldn't be hitting that weed pin right now, then, man, I'd probably take a break, go outside, do a run, drink some water, do something else to get it off your mind. But, like, you're in control of your own life. You make your own decisions, you know, at the end of the day.
mm-hmm.
You know whenever something's wrong and you know whenever something's right, and you control that, you know.
Yeah, so do you feel like there's certain things in your life that you want to work on to gear up for this November arrival of your child into this world?
Oh yeah, man, I'm really amped. I'm about to start community college in December for welding,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's really cool. I'm about to start a plumbing job doing fire sprinklers. I had a piss test for it in 3 weeks, which I'm kind of antsy for, man. I haven't passed a piss test in 3 years, but I'm only 21. It's not like if I miss this job, it's going to be the death of me, but I got a kid on the way. This is going to be the death of me, you know? I got a lot of stress. I got a lot of pressure on my shoulders right now. I got to be the family's pillar.
Yeah, and I feel like I feel like entering that situation with some clarity and some consistency in your mind and your routine would be good. So do you have a plan on kicking the weed, or do you view weed as a bad thing, or I mean?
So I used to smoke about maybe 30, 40 times a day. I used to just have like the wax pen or whatever, you know, and I just used to smoke that all the time. And then last week I made it to where I was only smoking morning, midday, and then nighttime. And then for half of this week, I'm going to smoke midday and nighttime, and then only nighttime, and then none at all. And you just wean yourself off of it. So whenever you withdraw and you don't have problems with eating and stuff like that, you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier if you like lean it down slowly over time. But if you just like jump straight for it and you fail, you're going to feel like you can never accomplish it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I see that, man. So I don't know, that situation with your girl, man. I hope that you can like have a conversation with her where she understands like the gravity of the fact that, like, you know, this is your kid and it's your life and together, and it's like you guys aren't two separate people. You're two people that brought a life into this world, and you guys need to
Figure it out together.
Yeah, together, man. I mean, the fact that she's not budging or that you guys can't come to a conclusion is an issue, and yeah, I really hope that there's a way with that, you know.
She's 8 months pregnant right now, so I think pregnancy might have something to do with her not wanting to talk or whatever the case is. So I'm kind of just waiting, and then I'll give it a few months after the pregnancy and see if she starts starts to become the person who she used to be again, you know? Because pregnancy fucks with the hormones and everything like that. And I'm not trying to be an asshole or anything like that, but like, whenever a girl's pregnant, it's like she's on her period for 9 months, man.
Yeah, but you can't give her that excuse. I think that's insane. I think every girl that's ever tried to pull that card with me, I've shut that down right away, and it's been great to shut that down.
Yeah.
Because it's just a never-ending excuse. That's a never-ending excuse to not be an understanding person, in my opinion. And I'm not trying to badmouth your mother or your children, but
No,
I
you're
just think
cool.
that's not
Everyone
fair,
has their
man.
own opinions, and
I
I
think
accept yours for whatever it may be, man. You don't have to feel bad about whatever you say. You're always going to have your own opinions. There's always going to be someone
yeah.
to say something.
I just feel like if I pulled the like I'm depressed or I was a drug addict or I'm my brother's dead or all this stuff happened to me, like I just feel like it's unfair to feel bad and to take that out on people or to let your own emotions be an excuse for how you treat someone regularly.
Yeah, I just don't want to like sit there and shine a dark light on my girlfriend or anything like that. Like I got my problems too, man. I'm not the perfect person either, you know? And I don't want to put everything all bad on her because not everything's her fault. I feel like whenever you interact with someone, that causes the way they interact with you. If I say hey in a mean way or if I say hey in a nice way, you might react different to each time, you know?
Yeah,
And so I feel like a big part of it has to do with how I interact with her too, you know?
for
And I have to
sure.
take my accountability there.
Yeah, I like that, and I like that you're giving. I like that you're giving her grace because I'm sure there's a lot on her plate, and I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, emotions are a real thing, and I didn't mean to be cold about that, but I think it's good. I think it's good you're giving her that grace, but I just think, yeah, everything's a balance, man, and I hope you guys can.
Everything is a
I
balance.
hope you guys can find that balance, bro. Are there things that relationship wise that you think you could do that would help you guys find a balance and find a mutual understanding about this housing issue?
So whenever you're in a relationship for about 2 years, don't get complacent, whoever you is. Just make sure you set a date on the calendar at least twice that month and take her somewhere nice, please. It doesn't matter if you enjoy it or what, just make sure you guys are doing something together, spending quality time, because if not, you tend to grow apart.
Yeah, that's good, man. Well, I appreciate you calling. Is there anything else you wanted to say? Comments, questions, concerns?
Um, no, man, just thank you for having me. I hope you have a nice day. That's about it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for calling in, man. And I look forward to your child coming in this world, and I hope that yeah, you can find some peace in that household, man.
Yeah, I'm wishing well, man.
All right, brother. Have a good day.
Anyways, peace.
Peace, gang. All right. Well, we're closing in here on the end, and I appreciate you guys coming in. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? You guys want to get into the weeds? Should we get into the heavy topics right now? Should we bust it all out right now? Because I'm probably saying we don't. I'm probably saying we just cut it and we move on to day 9. That's what I'm thinking, man. Because I think a lot of this shit that's going on in the world and my Twitter feed right now is firing me the fuck up, and I think that nothing productive will come from my opinions on that stuff. I think nothing will be productive from my opinions on that stuff. So yeah, I'm focusing on what's going to make me feel better, man. I'm getting up. I'm going to the gym again, and I'm grinding, and I'm going to put some serious work into this Juggalo action, this Juggalo video, and yeah, I apologize for the delay on the main channel, but I appreciate you guys tuning into this. I will see you tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. If you guys want to call in or you know someone who wants to call in, everyone's welcome. And yeah, before you know it, this month is gonna be over. So yeah, I'm soaking it in while we're here, and I appreciate you guys giving me the time of day and calling me. And yeah, I hope you have a nice evening. We're getting better, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.